Welcome back. Let us consider another numerical problem. For the beam loaded shown in figure, it is asked to draw shear force and bending moment diagram, marking the salient points, and also asked to locate the point of contraflexure and point of maximum bending moment. So, in the beam, supports are the left hand side is the hinged support and the overhanged portion support is a roller support. As we know that at pinned support or hinged support there are two reactions, horizontal and vertical reaction, and at the roller support there is a reaction, and that reaction is always normal to the axis of the roller. Though there are two reaction components at the pinned support, since horizontal components are nothing to do with the shear force and bending moment, we are not considering the horizontal force or force components in this module to calculate support reaction and even to calculate shear force and bending moment. For the sake of convenience, let us redraw this loading diagram by replacing this hinge and roller by means of simple support. Produce the salient points. The salient points are the supports are salient points, and the point of application of loads are also salient points. Quickly redraw this loading diagram. Replace hinge by a simple support, a roller by again simple support. Consider point loads as it is 20 kilonewton load acting and another 15 kilonewton. Lastly, it is 10 kilonewton. Mark their distances: 2.5 meter from left support, 1.5 meter, then it is 1 meter. Lastly, this overhanged portion is 1 meter from right support. Let us mark the salient points. As usual, we take unless specified, we take A and B for supports. Mark left hand support as A and right hand support as B, and next give salient points serially C, D and E. Let us state the support reactions. Mark those reactions here on the loading diagram, RA and RB. So, coming to the right hand side of the page, let us calculate support reaction by considering all the forces acting on the beam, including support reactions. Support reactions. Let RA and RB be the support reactions at A and B respectively. For equilibrium, for simplicity, we do not follow the order of the equilibrium condition. First we apply moment equilibrium condition, and that moment equilibrium condition we apply at an unknown point, so that automatically the one unknown becomes 0. Another unknown can be calculated in a single step. For equilibrium, applying sigma m about A is equal to 0. That is, consider all the forces acting on the beam including the support reactions, and our moment center is at A. If you consider reaction RA will not create any moment at point A, hence we are not considering that, and remaining moments we consider. So 20 kilonewton force will create a clockwise moment about point A, 15 kilonewton force again will create a clockwise moment about point A. This RB will rotate the beam in the counterclockwise direction, it is an anti-clockwise moment. Lastly, 10 kilonewton will create a clockwise moment about point A. Carefully observe the loads and consider their sign convention along with the perpendicular distance from the line of action of the force to the moment center. The force which will not create moment will not be considered here. That is, this 20 kilonewton force will rotate the beam in the clockwise direction and its perpendicular distance is 2.5. So hence, since it is creating clockwise moment, it is positive. 20 into perpendicular distance is 2.5. Next, this 15 kilonewton will create again a clockwise moment about point A, plus 15 into 2.5 plus 1.5, it is the 4 meters. Next, this reaction RB will rotate the beam in the anti-clockwise direction, negative minus RB into perpendicular distance, it is 2.5 plus 1.5 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5 meter. Lastly, 10 kilonewton force acting at the free end will rotate the beam in the clockwise direction, hence it is positive, plus 10 into 4 plus 5 plus 1, 6, that is equal to 0. So there are 5 loads or forces here including support reactions. As the support reaction RA will not create any moment about point A, we have not considered that, and we consider these 3 point loads and this reaction. So 20, 15 and 10 kilonewton point loads creating a clockwise moment, hence positive, and this RB is creating anti-clockwise moment, it is negative. Solving this, you will get RB. Therefore, RB is equal to 34 kilonewton. Now, to calculate another unknown RA, let us apply the another boundary condition, equilibrium condition, that is algebraic sum of all the vertical forces is equal to 0, and applying sigma V is equal to 0, that is here there shall not be any confusion while applying equilibrium condition. Here when we applied moment equilibrium condition, we have not written moment due to this RA because this RA will not create any moment. So RA will create 0 moment. Hence we consider these 3 loads for moment along with this support reaction. Whereas here when we apply force equilibrium condition, we should consider all the forces acting on the beam including support reactions. Now let us proceed from left hand side to right hand side and consider the forces one by one. By treating upward force as positive, automatically the downward force will be negative. RA upward positive. Next, at point C, point load acting in the downward direction is minus 20. Next, at point D, again there is a downward load of 15 kilonewton minus 15. At point B, there is a upward support reaction positive plus RB. Lastly, at point E, there is a downward load of 10 kilonewton, that is equal to 0. So, we consider all the point loads including support reaction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, RA plus RB is equal to 45. Therefore, RA is equal to 45 minus RB, that is equal to 45 minus 34, it is equal to 11 kilonewton. So, like this we can quickly calculate support reactions, and it is the easiest approach to calculate support reaction. So, by ignoring the horizontal force equilibrium condition, directly we apply moment equilibrium condition, we got one value. If you apply force equilibrium condition, vertical force equilibrium condition, you will got another value. Let us locate these reactions on the loading diagram. RA is equal to 11 kilonewton and RB is equal to 34 kilonewton. As it is asked to draw shear force and bending moment, so we can directly draw the shear force diagram without calculation that we did in the previous problem. For that, let us draw a reference line. On the reference line, shear forces are 0. Proceed with respect to reference line in the direction of forces acting. At point A, there is a vertical force of 11 kilonewton. Go up by 11 kilonewton from the reference line. Mark here, it is 11 kilonewton. For no loading condition between A and C, the variation of shear force diagram is horizontal line. Mark again here 11 kilonewton. At point C, there is a point load acting in the downward direction. Come down vertically by 20 kilonewton. If you come down vertically by 20 kilonewton, so from here above reference line from this point, above reference line from this point to here, it is 11 kilonewton, but I have to move down by 20 kilonewton. Forcibly we have to move below reference line by 9 kilonewton. So, 9 plus 11, 20 kilonewton. We have come down totally by 20 kilonewton. Above reference line 11 kilonewton, below reference line 9 kilonewton. Between C and D, no load, it's horizontal line. Again here 9 kilonewton. At point D, there is a point load acting in the downward direction. The magnitude is 15 kilonewton. Come down by 15 kilonewton. Already we came down by 9 kilonewton. Further we are coming down by 15 kilonewton. So totally it is 24 kilonewton. The value here is 24 kilonewton. So this 9 kilonewton is because of this 20 kilonewton, and if another 15 kilonewton it will go down vertically. Totally it is 24 kilonewton below reference line. Between D and B, no load, the variation is the horizontal line. At point B, mark this 24 kilonewton again. There is a point load, means support reaction acting in the upward direction. Go up by 34 kilonewton. If you go up by 34 kilonewton, it will reach the reference line. Reference line you came down by 24 kilonewton, but now it is we have to go up by 34 kilonewton. It will cross the reference line and go up by 10 kilonewton. Again between B and D no load, it is a horizontal line. Here also it is 10 kilonewton. At point E, there is a point load acting in the downward direction, come down vertically by 10 kilonewton and it will join with the reference line. You can see here shear force diagram changed its sign from positive to negative at point C and negative to positive at point B, no problem. Let us mark it as shear force diagram is FD. We can comfortably write down the shear force values here. Shear force F, shear force at A, comma F suffix A, that is equal to above reference line it is 11 kilonewton, 11 positive. Next, shear force at C, FC 11 kilonewton above reference line, and another value is there, it is 9 kilonewton below reference line, 11 kilonewton and minus 9 kilonewton. Next, shear force at point D, FD. So we got two values, minus 9 kilonewton and minus 24 kilonewton, minus 9 kilonewton and minus 24 kilonewton. Next, shear force at point B, again there are two values. The first value is minus 24 kilonewton and next value is 10 kilonewton. Shear force at B, FB is equal to minus 24 kilonewton and 10 kilonewton. Lastly, shear force at E, it is 10 kilonewton, of course 0, it has no value. To write the value, we have to follow the way in which we have proceeded to draw the shear force diagram. We started from point A, moved in the upward direction vertically because there is a point load reaction. So variation of shear force diagram is a vertical line, 11 kilonewton. So shear force at A is 11 kilonewton. Between A and C no load, the variation is the horizontal line. At point, when we reach to point C, again shear force is there, 11 kilonewton, same value. Then after reaching to point C, this 11 kilonewton we have written here. After reaching to point C, again there is a downward force because we are moved by 20 kilonewton and it has crossed the reference line by 9 kilonewton and the variation of shear force diagram is vertical line for point load. So two values here written, it is 11 kilonewton and minus 9 kilonewton. Next, between C and D no load, variation is horizontal line. At point D, after reaching to point D also it is 9 kilonewton. Then there is a downward vertical load of 15 kilonewton. We already come down by 9 kilonewton. We are moving further by another 15 kilonewton, totally 24 kilonewton. That is what shear force at point D. There are two values, minus 9 kilonewton and minus 24 kilonewton. Again between D and B no load, the variation of shear force diagram is horizontal. The same value is carried up to here. When we reach to point B, there is a upward support reaction of 24 kilonewton. We had gone up by 34 kilonewton here. So 34 kilonewton means it will cross the reference line. Up to here it is 24, above this 10 kilonewton. Hence there are two values here. First value is minus 24 kilonewton, then it is 10 kilonewton. We moved from here to here, not from here to here. Always we have to maintain the order in which we have drawn the shear force diagram. Finally, between B and D no load, for no load condition, variation of shear force diagram is horizontal line, and at point E also it is 10 kilonewton marked, and there is a point load acting in the downward direction. We had come down by 10 kilonewton, reach the reference line. So like this you can draw shear force diagram, and the same values can be written here. Next, to draw the bending moment diagram, we cannot draw the bending moment diagram directly. We need to calculate bending moments at salient points. Bending moment let us calculate again bending moments in the order starting from point A and proceed up to point E. Bending moment at A, comma M A. As we already know that to calculate bending moment at a point, we can consider forces to the left of the point or to the right of the point. Here, if we consider forces to the left of the point, there are no forces and no moment. Hence, bending moment at point A, by considering forces to the left hand side, is equal to 0. Even if we consider forces to the right hand side of the point A, also we will get 0 value. The next point is C. Bending moment at point C, MC, by considering forces to the left hand side, is equal to the left of C there is a support reaction acting in the upward direction, and this support reaction will create a clockwise moment. To the left of the point considered, clockwise will be treated as positive, and of course there is a point load acting at point C, and this 20 kilonewton will not create any moment at point C. Hence we are not considering that. We consider only the support reaction, moment due to this support reaction at point C. MC is equal to 11 into 2.5. So this works out to be 11 into 2.5, 25 kilonewton meter. Next, coming to point D, here we can consider the forces to the left hand side, or we can consider forces to the right hand side. Moment, bending moment calculated by considering forces to the left side or to the right side will be same. So bending moment at point D, let us consider again to the left hand side, because both the sides two forces are there. Treat the clockwise as positive and anti-clockwise as negative by to the left of the considered. So this support reaction will create a positive moment, clockwise moment about point D, and this 20 kilonewton will create a negative moment, anti-clockwise moment. So 11 into the perpendicular distance, 11 into 2.5 plus 1.5, 4. Next, this 20 kilonewton force will create a anti-clockwise moment. Hence it is negative, minus 20 into 1.5. Again this 15 kilonewton will not create any moment about point D, and that is what we are not writing that, and we are not considering here. Solving this, we will get 14 kilonewton meter. Now, coming to point B, bending moment at point B. So, considering forces to left side or right side depends upon the number of forces available. For making the calculation easier, we consider the sides which is having less number of forces. Here at point B, if we consider forces to the left hand side, there are 3 forces. At the same time, if you consider forces to the right hand side of B, there is only one force. Hence, it is most convenient to consider forces to the right hand side of B. So, bending moment at point B, MB, by considering forces to the right hand side is equal to, first consider this RB. So, RB acting at point B and will not create any moment, hence we are not writing that and we are not considering. But moment is there due to this 10 kilonewton acting at the free end, and this 10 kilonewton load will create a clockwise moment about point B. It will try to rotate the beam in the clockwise direction. To the right side of the point, or to the right side considered, clockwise will be negative. Clockwise will be negative means to the right side. See the finger. It will try to lift the beam in the upward direction, hogging. So, to the right side, clockwise will be considered as negative, minus 10 into the 1, that is equal to 10 kilonewton meter. Lastly, bending moment at point E, ME, again it is usual practice to consider forces considering the side which is having less number of forces. To the right side of E, there are no forces, bending moment is 0. Even if we consider forces to left hand side also, we will get the 0 bending moment at point E. So, after calculating bending moments at salient points, we can conveniently draw the bending moment diagram. Draw the reference line by leaving sufficient space above the reference line to mark the calculated bending moments. Bending moment at point A 0, bending moment at point C it is 27.5, 27.5 kilonewton meter. Next, bending moment at point D, it is 14 kilonewton meter. Next is bending moment at point B. Here you can see bending moment at point B. It is creating anti-clockwise moment, minus 10 into 1, it is minus 10 kilonewton meter. Minus value means you have to mark the value below the reference line, 10 kilonewton. Once we mark below reference line, we have to ignore the sign convention. Next, bending moment at point E 0. To draw the bending moment diagram, again we have to proceed in the order of calculation. We calculated bending moment at A first, then at C, then at D, then at B, lastly it is at point E. Proceed from left hand side to right hand side, following the variation of bending moment for various loading condition. As we know that it is bending moment diagram is, there is no change for point load and hence no change at point A. For no loading condition, the bending moment diagram variation is a linear or inclined line. So, variation of bending moment diagram between A and C is a linear line. At point C, there is a point load. For point load, there is no change in the bending moment diagram. Between C and D, no loading condition. For no load, it is the variation is linear line. Again at point D there is a point load, no change in bending moment diagram. Between D and B no load, variation is linear line or inclined line. You can see here, to join between point D and B, we have to cross the boundary here, reference line. It will cross the reference line. When we join the points D and B, we cross the reference line. Next, between B and E, no load, the variation is again a linear line. Above reference line positive and below reference line negative. To mark it as bending moment diagram. So like this we did in the previous problem also. We have calculated support reaction and we drawn the shear force diagram, then we have written the shear force, then calculated bending moment diagram, bending moments, then drawn the bending moment diagram. One point we discussed in the previous problem, that wherever shear force diagram changes its sign from positive to negative or negative to positive, there the bending moment is maximum or minimum. You can see here shear force diagram changed its sign from positive to negative at point C and again from negative to positive at another point B. So the worked out values of bending moments at point C and B indicates, so it is the maximum value is at point C and the minimum is 10 kilonewton meter. So we need the maximum value and we got it 27.5 kilonewton meter. Next, in the previous problem shear force diagram only changed its sign from positive to negative, whereas here both diagrams, both shear force and bending moment diagram changed their sign from positive to negative. So bending moment diagram changed its sign from positive to negative at an unknown point. So it has crossed the reference line between D and B and that point to be located. That is what it is asked in the problem. It is asked to locate the point of contra flexure and point of maximum bending moment. So point of contra flexure is the point at which the bending moment diagram changes its sign from positive to negative or negative to positive. If the bending moment diagram changes its sign from positive to negative at an unknown point, that point to be located on the bending moment diagram. Here we need to locate this point. So let us mark this point as say A, B, C, D, E, F. Let this F be acting at a distance of x from right support. Produce point F in the upward direction by means of dotted line to meet the loading diagram. It is more convenient for us to locate the point of contra flexure. Mark the distance x from right support. Now we can comfortably calculate this x. Location of point of contra flexure is nothing but locating the distance from the nearby support or from the nearby point or from the end point, whichever is convenient to us. Generally we select the point very near point, very close to that point of contra flexure point in order to avoid the laborious calculation. Next is locating the point of contra flexure. To avoid confusion, let us take out the portion of the beam to the right side of F and paste it here, and consider that the take out portion of the beam to calculate the x value. consider the portion of the beam and consider the load, point load 10 kilonewton acting to the right hand side of F, and this support reaction 34 kilonewton, and mark the distance x from F to B. We know bending moment at point F. The bending moment at point F is 0. Wherever the bending moment diagram changes its sign from positive to negative on the reference line, there the bending moment is always 0. Bending moment at point F is 0. Knowing bending moment at point F, write expression for bending moment by considering forces to any one side of F. For convenience, we have marked the distance x from nearby right support, and it is convenient to consider the forces to the right hand side of F. Write expression for bending moment by considering forces to right of F and equate it to 0, we will get x value. Bending moment at F, MF by considering forces to the right hand side is equal to 0. That is, to right side consider, right at the point consider, treat anti-clockwise as positive and clockwise as negative. So this support reaction will create anti-clockwise moment positive 34 into x, and this 10 kilonewton load will create the clockwise moment negative minus 10 into x plus 1, that is equal to 0, because we know that bending moment at point F is 0. So 34 x minus 10x plus 10, that is equal to 0. Solving this, x is equal to minus 10 is equal to 0. Solving this, x is equal to 0.42. So this is the position of the point of contraflexion. Another value is asked here, point of maximum bending moment. We can see here on the bending moment diagram, the maximum bending moment occurs at point C, and it is closely matching with our discussion that bending moment is maximum where shear force changes its sign from positive to negative. The point of maximum bending moment is at C at a distance 2.5 meter from left support. That is, M max is equal to MC, that is equal to 27.5 kilonewton meter. So like this we can comfortably draw shear force and bending moment diagram by understanding the various loading condition and following the sign conventions and procedure to calculate shear force and bending moment, and lastly to locate the point of contraflexion. So with this discussion, let us wind up this class, and for more discussions we will meet the next class. Thank you.